This is something from the Joe Rogan show, The Science of Sleep. I think that's interesting because all of us have to sleep. Hey, what's going on? Are you sleeping right now? Hopefully you're not going to fall asleep from this, but it should be interesting because Joe puts on a nice show and he gets on some really interesting guests. This is something that is actually important for me as well because although I've never had trouble sleeping, I would say I'm 50 years old now. I don't know if it has to do with age or stress or whatever, but occasionally I could use a little help falling asleep. So I'll go watch a little TV or put watch some YouTube or something like that, or do these reaction channels. But I also take this supplement, and I'm not going to put the name of it because I don't think it's legal for me to do that. But I actually am an affiliate of this company. So if you look in the description below, this stuff here knocks me out, and it's got natural ingredients in it. Like lysine and stuff like that. So I thought it would be interesting and helpful to some of you. You don't have to buy anything. I'm just showing it to you and telling you that it actually works for me. If you've ever taken Advil PM or Tylenol PM, this stuff is like that, but not quite as strong. But it's natural because the stuff that's in there is not the same stuff that's in Advil PM, which, who the hell knows what's in there knocking you out. But anyway. So let's get right to it and see what they have to say.
I'll do 3 different hotels in a week because I'll do like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, like with gigs. And then by the time Sunday rolls around, I'm a mess.
In rough shape.
Yeah. Is that what it is?
Yeah. And it's a threat detection thing. If you look at other species, they can do this much more impressively than we can. So dolphins or any sort of sea-dwelling mammal can actually sleep with half a brain. So one half of their brain goes into deep sleep. The other half is wide awake.
That's how people at the DMV do it. Those people that work at the Department of Motor Vehicles, they work half asleep. You ever meet them?
I haven't, no.
Just teasing you.
I will,
if you're DMV listening, going, fuck you, man. Next time you come in to get your license renewed.
There's my next NI.
I got news for you, man. When I go to the DMV or if I go to the post office, it's an adventure. It's an adventure. I don't think that they're hiring our brightest and our bravest at these places. I really don't. Although it looks like they are highly skilled in in the sense that they know a lot about all that motor vehicle stuff. I'm not going to take that away from them. But it can be a little rough. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Maybe it's really rough for them. Maybe they should have their own reality TV show to show the rest of us exactly how rough it is to be a DMV employee. Because from my perspective, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt that it's rough, and maybe that's why they have that attitude at the post office and the DMV. But I don't know. Sometimes I think it's just because they're state employees. There I go again, right?
IH Grant, I think, looking at the DMV and sleep. But yeah,
TSA workers, same thing. Same type of human.
That I've come across.
Yeah. Them too. I'm just kidding, fuckers. Relax. So when you're in a hotel room, what is happening that half your brain is not really sleeping?
Yeah, so there's different stages of sleep. There are 2 principal types. One is non-rapid eye movement sleep or non-REM sleep. The other is REM sleep, which is also known as dream sleep.
Right.
And non-rapid eye movement sleep is further divided into 4 separate stages, which are unimaginatively called stages 1 through 4. We're a creative bunch as
easy to remember.
Researchers. It is true, but I think it's also our low IQ. But it's the deep stages of sleep, 3 and 4 of that non-rapid eye movement. That's where a lot of sort of body replenishment takes place, great for the cardiovascular system, metabolism, all of those good things. But that's the deep sleep that one half of your brain will resist going into when you're sleeping in a foreign environment. So it stays in this kind of lighter stage, almost like a threat detection system.
Right.
And you can imagine why. It's an unusual context evolutionarily.
It's interesting that they talked about sleep and the relationship to metabolism because this product that I take, that I'm also an affiliate of, in the description below, you can actually purchase this or you could research this. But let me warn you, if you click on the link below, it's going to show you a video that is kind of alarming and disturbing. It's kind of like fear-mongering. I don't really like that. I don't know if the company sells a lot of this product because they scare people. I wanted to try it because I wanted to help my sleep. But this thing is they claim helps you to lose weight because it increases increases metabolism while you sleep, and it helps you sleep. What I can tell you is that it definitely helps you sleep. I don't know if it actually works to actually help you lose weight, but from what this dude just said, it sounds like metabolism is connected to a deep sleep, and a healthy metabolism is connected with deep sleep. So I guess that's the angle they're coming in on. All I can tell you is that this thing helps you sleep. I can't say that it helps you lose weight.
It would make a lot of sense to just have that sort of on guard one half of the brain.
That makes so much sense, and that really, for me, it fills in the blanks of like why, even if I get 7-8 hours sleep on the road, I'm still kind of just out of it.
Yeah, and that's in fact probably one of the most impressive parts of new research on sleep. It's not just about quantity, it's also about quality. And quality can be as detrimental if you don't get it as a reduction in total quality. I mean, both are essential,
right?
But I think it speaks exactly to your point. You just don't feel like it's a refreshing sort of deep sleep.
Yeah, it feels totally different. It feels like, I guess I would say it feels like half asleep.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really kind of how it does feel.
Yeah.
One of the things that I noticed, I did this thing with my friends called Sober October, where we didn't smoke any pot or do no drinking at all, nothing for a month. And when I did it, one of the things I found was that after about, I don't know how many days, but it was noticeable that I would have these incredibly vivid dreams. And then I had read that marijuana does something to suppress heavy REM sleep. Like what is happening there?
Yeah, so both of those chemicals, both of which are used as a sleep aid, alcohol and marijuana, are actually very good at blocking your dream sleep, your rapid eye movement sleep. And so what happens is that the brain is quite clever in this regard. It builds up a clock counter of how much dream sleep you should have had, but have not been getting.
Whoa.
And it starts to develop this increasing appetite and hunger for dream sleep. So that finally, when the alcohol actually gets out of your system, Sober October,
Yeah.
love the name, that's all of a sudden where you get what's called a REM sleep rebound effect, where you not only get the normal amount of REM sleep that you would normally have, you get that, plus the brain tries to get back some of that dream sleep that it's been losing over the past maybe 11 months. So you get this...
Try 20 years.
Yeah, I didn't want to make any assumptions. So you get this REM sleep rebounded effect, and that's where you have these really intense dream sleep situations.
Yeah.
It's the same reason that they'll say, like, I had a bit too much to drink last night. Maybe it was a Friday or Saturday. They sleep in late. They say, I just had these crazy dreams. What happens there is a kind of an acute version where the alcohol is swirling around in your system. And after about 6 hours, your liver and your kidneys have finally excreted all of the alcohol. And your brain has been deprived of dream sleep for that first 6 hours. So then it feasts in the last couple of hours, and that's why you have these really bizarre dreams after you've been drinking a little bit too much.
Oh, wow. So what is happening with marijuana, though, specifically?
I'm glad that Joe's asking more questions about marijuana, because that, for me, that's an important consideration. I need to know the answer to that, because sometimes I do rely a little bit on this to help me sleep. And I'm wondering if it's not a good thing. Now, that's the reason why I started getting this, because I wanted to get away from this. So I started using a little bit of this, which I thought was more natural. Now, I wish that we could find out if taking this stuff is actually okay for you as an aid, as a sleep aid. I'm under the assumption that it is because it's natural. But maybe you guys can tell me in the descriptions below what you think.
Do you know?
Yeah, so marijuana...
And let me, by the way, read you the ingredients that are in this thing. So if you guys are out there and you know something that I don't know, you can tell me. L-arginine hydrochloride, L-lysine hydrochloride, L-theanine, ashwagandha extract, Gifronia simplifolia seed extract, and hydroxy tryptophan, and then melatonin. It says that the other ingredients are hydroxypropyl, methylcellulose, which is a vegetarian capsules, they say, magnesium stearate, which is a vegetable source, and a silicon dioxide and rice flour. It's made in the United States, which is nice. It's not made in China, which has a bad stigma to it for vitamins and supplements. So, what do you guys think? Do you think that I'm taking something that's that is good or bad for me? Let me know.
It does help people. Well, it puts people to sleep quicker. Although I think that the question is whether it's really naturalistic sleep or not that they go into. Certainly with alcohol, it's not. That nightcap idea is a misnomer. Alcohol will it's a form of drugs that we call the sedatives, and sedation is not sleep. It's very different, but we often mistake one for the other. Marijuana, it seems to act in a physiologically very different way. It doesn't target the same receptors in the brain. So it's unclear whether the speed with which you fall asleep after having a session with marijuana is actually natural sleep. Let's assume it is. The problem, however, is that it then will start to disrupt REM sleep. It will start to block the process. We think perhaps at the level of the brainstem, which is where these two types of sleep, non-REM and REM sleep, will actually get sort of worked out. That's where marijuana may actually impact dream sleep and shut it down and block it.
Have there been any studies on chronic marijuana smokers, like those dawn to dusk type characters?
Good question again.
That just are constantly high, and what happens to their brain because they must never hit REM sleep.
Yeah, so people haven't looked at marijuana. They have looked at alcohol, though. Exactly that. So what happens is if you look at alcoholics, they will have something often when they come off alcohol, something called delirium tremens, which is where sort of DT, there what happens is that the alcohol has been blocking dream sleep for so long, and the pressure for dream sleep is built up so powerfully in the brain, it actually just spills over into wakefulness.
Whoa.
And so the brain just says, look, okay, if I'm not going to get this dream sleep whilst you're asleep, I'm just going to take it whilst you're awake. And so you start to essentially dream while you're awake. It's this sort of collision of two states of consciousness. So you get delirium.
Wow. I always thought the DTs were detoxing. When someone said someone's going through the DTs.
Okay, yeah.
So it's delirium tremor?
That's delirium tremens, yeah.
Trems?
Sort of.
So what is going on with them when this is happening? So if they are going through this delirium during the day while they're conscious, what's physiologically happening?
So it's almost as though the veil of REM sleep gets pulled over the waking brain, as it were. So you have this mixed state of consciousness that you can pick up with brainwave recordings.
Wow.
And it just tells me, I mean, in some ways, how necessary sleep must be. If that's the lengths that the brain will go to get that which it's been missing, just shows you why, it took Mother Nature 3.6 million years to put this thing called an 8-hour sleep necessity in place. And we've come along, and within the space of 100 years, we've lopped off almost 20% of that, if you look at the data.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Whew. And so many people take pride in that, too. I don't need 8 hours sleep. I got 3. I'm good, ready to go, kick ass, and dominate the world.
Yeah. It's the sort of like sleep machismo sort of attitude.
There is a lot of that, right?
Yeah. And
Not me, baby. I like sleep.
Well, I mean, and you'd be glad to know that then, men who sleep 5 to 6 hours a night will have a level of testosterone which is that of someone 10 years their senior. So a lack of sleep will age you by a decade in terms of that critical aspect of wellness, virility, muscle strength,
10
sexual
years.
performance.
That's incredible. Wow.
That's crazy. And this is why, I not long ago I went down the road of getting getting some sleep apnea testing done. I wanted to see if I was what my sleep was like, because I was under the impression too, from listening to stuff like this, that sleep is very, very important for all of us. For a man, in my case, that it affects so many things, like your testosterone levels, and then it affects all of our our health, I guess. So it's heavy stuff, I guess. It's important to sleep and get good sleep, and I really hope that you guys can get back to me after having read those ingredients that are in this dietary supplement that I take, and let me know what you think about it. Now, if you do look in the description below this video, you will see a link to this product. You can click through it, you could research it yourself, and then, hey, maybe let me know what you think. If any of you guys are like experts in this and you say, hey, Matt, don't take that stuff anymore. Or you might conversely find out that it's really good stuff and it's natural and there's nothing harmful about it. But an expert on sleep, I am not. That's why I was kind of doing a reaction on this video. I thought it would be good for both of us. I hope that you would enjoy it as much as I do. If you want me to do a reaction to another video or a song or something like that, please take a look at the description below. You could still mention it in the comments and I'll try to get to it, and I'm so grateful for you doing that. But truth be told, that if you did make a donation and support the channel in some capacity, I'm going to get to your reaction a lot faster, and guaranteed I will. So that's the way it's been working lately. So check it out. Let me know what you think. Hey, it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice, and you take it easy. And if it's real easy, take it twice.